This is June 12th, 6 o'clock p.m., Public Safety Commission meeting. Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Flores is absent. Commissioner Lance?
Present.
Commissioner Sanchez?
Present.
And Chairman Lozano.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, would you like to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us? Start it off.
All right. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, has everyone looked at the agenda for tonight and the minutes from last meeting? Is anyone in approval of that? To pass the motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
Approve as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. Not doing nothing is yours. Okay. All right. All right, we got that. Okay. We do have some
Madam Chair,
public-
I'm sorry, just waiting for one more vote from Commissioner
Oh.
Sanchez.
Is it me?
There we go. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay.
There it is.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Okay, we have public comments this evening, and let me read this. At this time, pursuant to the Brown Act, any person may comment on matters of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Public Safety Commission, not listed on the agenda. Under the Brown Act, the Public Safety Commission should not take action on or discuss matters raised during public comment portion of the agenda that are not listed on the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Speakers may not yield their time to others without consent of the chair. All comments are to be directed to the Public Safety Commission and shall be devoid of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during public comments. Please complete and submit a speaker card to the city clerk. You will be asked to state your name and city of residence for the record. And I do have a public comment by Melody Platt. Please come to the podium or whatever.
Excuse me, my errors are going to be probably, I don't know what you guys are responsible for in Orange County, but I'm talking about the animal crisis situation.
Okay.
It can't just keep going as business as usual. It just isn't working. It's completely collapsed. I was in a shelter the other month, and a guy pulled up in an old sedan packed to the rafters with everything he owned in the world and a giant shepherd. They told him to let him out on the street, and I saw a grown man sobbing like a baby. For every one of these dump dogs, there's 2 broken hearts more. And anytime we're talking about the animal situation, we're talking about housing. It's housing, housing, housing. To that end, 26% of landlords in the area allow animals. I know that AB 2216 just failed, 2-year going through the California courts to deny landlords ability to deny animals. I don't know if that's anything we could do locally. In lieu of that, what about some kind of stipend insurance program for landlords, saying if you allow pets, you will have this insurance policy expressly for pets. Maybe that would help them. God forbid they lose $1. I've been a landlord on and off my whole adult life. I always rented to pets. It was the right thing to do. What a quaint notion. I don't know how these people sleep at night. Needless to say, the 3 times the monthly income to get in. So many people say, I can pay the rent, but I can't show 3 times. There's tremendous problems. They have to change. Housing situation is going to worsen and worsen and worsen. And regarding to this shepherd that was dumped, they told him private citizens will pick him up. So now we've got all these private citizens doing the work that government agencies can no longer do. And this will also continue to worsen. So I was thinking, what about a stipend for these people? We have a handful of them, predominantly women, that are out there picking up these dog messes at their own expense all day long in the forums, begging, crying for $5 to keep going. These women out in the desert trapping, the woman in Banning that took the 4 giant shepherds that were abandoned, she's in complete crisis. She can't even run her car. Every dollar she has goes to this. The shelters, this is probably a Riverside issue, but it's just they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Help, 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 adopt, foster. We're out of homes. There are no more homes. We're euthanizing. They need to stop it. It's absurd. Like many, many, many places in the South, they need to go. They need to get up north. There's wings of rescue. There's countless of these. They're getting animals up north. They're getting them to Montana. They have to go out of here. We're done. Its situation's finished. There's a place in Oregon called the Asher House. He's been pulling from Apple Valley in Lancaster. He's got a giant ranch in Oregon with a river running through it. He would be very interested, I think, in knowing we're the #1 euthanizing area. You have to start figuring something else out because it's not working. Cats in cages, ridiculous. It's illegal to have chickens in cages. We've got cats in cages. There needs to be another facility like Kittyland. Cats being adopted out one at a time. It's absurd. Dogs being given to people with no collars. Collars are $3. Doesn't matter if they're chipped. 90% of people aren't going to stop their day, haul the dog into their home or car, try to figure out where the heck to find a chip scanner. It's ridiculous. They need collars. You take a Sharpie. I brought an example. I forgot it. They're $3 collar. Sharpie, write the phone number on. There's 7 dogs today lost in DHS. Today, as of when I left the house. Not one had a collar on.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, the speaker's time has elapsed.
Okay, I'm asking for funding for 2 chip scanners that I can get into local businesses. Escapades Bar will take one. That would eliminate the need for people to interfere with animal shelter or fire. I'm asking for the funding of 2 chip scanners for local businesses to have so people know where to take a dog to get chip scanned.
Well, thank you, dear. I understand what you're saying. Have you spoken, or Tyler, do you have any comments to say for her? He's our acting compliance manager.
Yeah, and I do want to address a couple of the things that you brought up, like Wings to Pilot or Rings of Rescue. We are aware of organizations like that. One that we've worked with in the past is actually Pilots for Paws or Pilots to Paws.
Okay, excellent. You and I talked about this,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And you assured me you were
And
on it.
the Asher House, we have spoken with them. We do know about that rescue. And our cats, we do not keep them in cages. We actually have a whole 2 bedrooms dedicated to our cats where we transfer from each side daily. They can commute as they want for that.
Wow.
And then we also partner with local rescues for the cats. And it's not the same rescue every time. There's a bunch of rescues out there that we do partner with. And addressing the collars, we do have collars that we do give out frequently to anybody that comes in needs a collar. We adopt them if they need a collar. We're happy
And
to
you can
provide
write the phone number on the collar.
Yeah.
Because people that can't figure out their dog needs a collar aren't going to get tags.
So when they adopt the dog, we license the dog as well, right there. So it does
So they
have a
get
dog
tags.
license. So they get tagged. They get a tag, a dog license tag. So
Why
when it
do they
comes back-
take them off?
So unless the collar comes off, we know exactly where to return that dog. And then I do want to point out for the euthanasia, our city, we do not euthanize.
I'm
Only
not
time-
anti-euthanasia. I'm not
Yeah.
one of those. There's no place for them to go. It's just a
Yeah,
reality.
the only time that we're going to call for a euthanasia is if the animal is just so severely injured that it's going to affect the quality of life.
Okay. Do I get my funding?
I don't get to
Who
make that call.
decides?
I would imagine you would go to the city council to propose something like that.
Where am I now?
You're at the Public Safety Commission.
Okay, how do I get to the city council?
They
the-
are online, city council, perhaps
So the
Gerald
next
could-
council meeting is next Tuesday, the 17th, at 6 p.m.
Well,
in
I'm
the
in the
same
wrong
location.
place, you guys, and I apologize. And I have way more solutions, but I appreciate you letting me run over a little bit.
We
Thank
appreciate you. Thank you very much.
You're not in the wrong place.
You're not, yeah, we all care. You're absolutely right. Thank you, dear. We have a second speaker. Her name is Jan Pye, and she's a city councilman for our city.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to let you know I will be appointing someone on the 17th
Oh, okay.
to your commission. And I forgot to say something during council member comments at our last meeting, so I decided I'll say it here. I usually go to Do the Right Thing. And at that time, I spoke to the chief of police and told him I thought he did a good job regarding the facility that was bombed. And he said to me, your chief came down here fully in uniform and said, what can I do to help? And he just said thank you, but then he told me about our chief, and he said that is a true leader. In addition to that, during that weekend, he also had officers canvass various places. One was churches, just as a precaution. I know that because I was in church, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you, dear. We appreciate you very much. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay. Thank you for that. And are we all ready to new business? I guess so. And that would be the report from Chief Stephen Shaw, his staff report.
All right. So a couple things. We'll go over the crime stats first for the month of May. No major changes. If you look at the Group A offenses, most offenses went down compared to the same time last year. A couple items went up that had to do with vehicle theft and larcenies. But overall, for the Group A offenses, we saw almost a 27.5% decrease from the same time last year. So we're still trending in the direction that we like to see us trending when it comes to that. For the patrol stats, pretty consistent again with this time of year. 3,500 calls for service for the month of May. Officers made 64 arrests and issued 217 citations. A lot going on at the police department right now in terms of staffing and construction at the annex building. I was at a meeting today, construction meeting today. They've just poured the footing foundations and the stem walls, and they were prepping, I think next week, to pour in the actual foundation on that. And then we'll actually start seeing some walls go up. So they've been hard at work the last month or so, all that stuff that's get covered and you don't see it once the building's up, but it's moving along great. It's really going to be a great facility once that goes in. We have several new officers that started. So we have 2 officers that started the Riverside County Sheriff's Academy, 2 officers that Desert Hot Springs is sponsoring. They started on Tuesday. So this is their first week in the academy. If you look on Facebook, you'll see a couple photos of them. They're getting worked, but they're doing, for the first week, they're doing great and stuff. So it's great to see them in there. We have a new officer, Olivas Ortega. He started this week. Actually, today is his first day. Phase 1, day 1 is today in the car. And then we gave 3 conditional job offers on Monday. For police, 2 for police officers and 1 for a dispatcher. The dispatcher will have us fully staffed in dispatch. We've always done pretty well in dispatch. We lost a dispatcher a couple months ago because she moved out of state for family reasons. Otherwise, she'd still be here, but we were able to quickly recruit and find a new person. And so we anticipate there's a couple final steps that they'll get through, but we anticipate them starting in the next probably 3 to 4 weeks. So again, we're trending in the right direction with that. So that's exciting. The other thing I want to talk to you today about is the budget.
Right.
Last council meeting, staff presented the entire city budget to council. This coming up council meeting on Tuesday, they will actually vote on that. Today, I'm going to give you just kind of a real short version of that staff report. We're really going to be just focused on police department and the police department budget. But a couple things on the overall budget, the city's in a good position. We have a balanced budget. This is going to be a 2-year budget cycle. We have a balanced budget. Just to give you an idea from the general fund. So the next fiscal year, so we end this month our fiscal year. So our fiscal year is July 1st through June 30th. So for the 25-26 fiscal year that's coming up, revenues for the entire city budget for the general fund is $30.8 million. Expenditures $30.7 million. So you can see it's tight, but it's balanced. For 26-27, the revenues are $32.3 million, and the expenditures are $32.2 million. So you all know Jeffrey Buckheim, the finance director. He and city manager Wilms, they've done a fantastic job just going through and really looking where we can cut, what are the priorities. And the priorities are outlined in the city's strategic plan, which if you haven't seen that, and I apologize, I should have brought you a copy of that, but last council session that was also presented. So that full budget report and the strategic plan is available online on the city's website. But the strategic plan really outlines over the next couple years the goals of the city and where we want to go, and then it drove what our budget looked like and what we needed to prioritize for the budget. Economic development is a huge priority for the city, and public safety is a huge priority for the city. So on the police department side, there is a commitment from city council. We've started the overhiring process for police officers. So currently we're budgeted for 33 officers, but we've been given the okay. I've been given the okay from city council that I can overhire. So I'm hoping we're getting close to that 33 mark, and then I'm going to continue looking because we do need more. We do need more officers out there. But just having that commitment from city council saying yes, you can do it, and if you get to that point and you overhire, they'll find the funds to have those officers and have them on board. We do have. You've heard me talk about it. I've talked about it to city councilmen, and when I go to community meetings, we talked about POST. And POST is the state agency that oversees law enforcement and certification. We've talked about POST coming into the city. So they've started on July 10th. We've had lots of conversations on the phone and through emails. July 10th, they'll actually be here in person and do some data collection and some analysts and stuff. So hopefully, it takes a little while. It's a pretty comprehensive report, but hopefully after they do their on-site visits, then within hopefully 60 days is what we're looking at, is we can have that report. And that'll really give us a good roadmap on, okay, what do we need in terms of the police department, in terms of sworn staffing, what do we need for that? And it's going to look at our professional staff, because as we grow as a city, obviously the department needs to keep up with that. And we haven't. We've been at the same staffing levels for over 20 years. But everybody recognizes the need to do that. So again, we're trending in the right direction for that. And we're doing a real good job recruiting people. Folks are seeing what we're doing here in the city. They're seeing the opportunities with this department and with the city and the growth that's going on in the city. And people want to be a part of that. They want to be on the ground floor with that because that is an exciting time and excellent opportunities for folks. So I like the way that we're going. We're just going to keep going. We just got to stay at it, and we'll keep doing that. So back to the budget. So we talked about the general fund. I want to talk about the police department budget. So the public safety part of the budget, There's 5 different areas in the Public Safety Fund, and that's the Police Department, Code Compliance, Animal Control, Dispatch Services, and Fire Service. So tonight I'll talk to you about the Police Department and Dispatch. Obviously, as you know, Code Compliance a while ago left the umbrella of the Police Department and went on their own, and then recently Animal Control left the umbrella of the Police Department, and now they are under City Halls, and Tyler has taken over. He's obviously with Code, but he's also taken over, he hasn't said, he's also taken over Animal Control and really supervising Animal Control. But for the Police Department, the budget for the 25-26 budget, it's $12.546 million. And for the 26-27 budget, it's $13.146 million. When you look at the budget report in front of you, and I know it's kind of small printing and everything like that, in both years, you know, the majority of that, as is typical with any, whether it's the police department or city on a whole, the majority of that is going to be salaries, benefits, and those type of things. Some of the unfunded pension liability, the majority of the budget is in that. The rest of the budget, it's a tight budget, but one part of that I was really excited about and really happy about, and you've heard me talk about it, is we have not, in my time here and well before my time here, we have not set anything up when we're talking about patrol vehicles. And I think you guys have heard me talk about it, that one of the big things, one of the challenges that we've had recently is maintaining our patrol vehicles. I have vehicles that are 2017 vehicles, so almost 10 years old, 100,000 plus miles on them, constantly bringing down. And we're spending a lot of money. You know, we're spending $150,000, $160,000 a year just in upkeep on the vehicles and stuff. But coming up in this new budget in 25, 26, and 26, 27, we actually have funds set aside specifically to purchase new patrol vehicles. So again, this is the first time since I've been here that we've had that. So I'm excited that we have that, so we can get a process going to where every year we're at least purchasing, you know, I want to get to a point where we're at least purchasing 2 new vehicles, and then we can recycle vehicles out instead of having to keep them well past their usable life. And that's what we've had to do, is just, you know, put some Band-Aids on them and keep them running, just because we don't have vehicles to replace them when they go down. Another challenge is actually getting vehicles. You know, we talk about with COVID, I think is when we first saw the problems with getting equipment in vehicles and the supply network. And it's continued for us. And I don't want to say it's because of COVID, it's the way it is now. It could be, you know, a number of things. We can get into a conversation, you know, it could be tariffs, and it can be COVID, you know, whatever it is. But the supply chain for patrol vehicles is very difficult. Typically, you have to order them, and it's about a nine-month wait to get them once you order them. There's a window to order them, and if you miss that window, then you're out scrounging and you're trying to find vehicles and stuff, and so we found ourselves in that. The nice thing about right now is, and again, with City Manager Wilms and Director Buckheim, and the City Council, they recognize, hey, I've got a challenge right now, that one, obviously, July 1st is when this new budget takes place, and that's when those funds are available. But I started about a month ago, we were looking for new vehicles. And if you know Stan Henry, I brought him on as my executive officer. He's helping me out with some projects and stuff until we hire a full-time deputy chief. One of the projects that I gave Stan was, hey, find me some patrol vehicles. Stan Henry, as a longtime resident of Coachella Valley, as you know, retired chief from Cathedral City and was on city council in Cathedral City, so he has lots of contacts in the valley. He was able to find me 3 patrol vehicles that other agencies had taken, and then for whatever reason they decided not to take them. He was able to get them transferred here. He worked out a deal with Palm Springs Motors, and they said, we're going to give you those vehicles. You can pay us on July 2nd after your budget gets passed. So that we can get those vehicles and start getting them outfitted and stuff. Wow. So 3 vehicles for some agencies, that's only 3 vehicles. For us, that's a huge thing, 3 vehicles. So we're, again, another thing that we're trending, and we're moving in the right direction for those vehicles. And it's going to be good to get this process going where we have a replacement plan in place for patrol vehicles. So Really, the rest of the budget that you have on there, again, I don't want to go line to line. Certainly, if you looked at it and if you have any questions about something that might be, what you have there is the expenditures of what it costs to run the police department. If you have specific questions tonight, I'm certainly happy to answer them. If after you look at, anytime you can call me and you can ask me, hey, what is this particular item that you have here that you're paying for? A lot of the other, where the budget goes to after the salaries and stuff, again, is the equipment, it's going to be the vehicles, our training budget. A little bit got cut from our training budget, but that's a big part of our budget too. That's running about $55,000 a year that we have to utilize for. One is mandatory training that officers have to go through throughout the year, and then the other is additional training, whether it's a specialty assignment that officers have, or it's something an officer wants to learn about and get involved in. Maybe it's something with narcotics or something like that, that they want to get some extra training in. A lot of training that we send folks to is for leadership classes and that type of thing. So that's a big part of the budget, but it's extremely important. Again, a lot of that is mandated that we have to do, but there is areas in there that officers are able to go out there and pick some training items that interest them. And the rest of it is just operation, keeping the lights on, if you will,
Right.
in the police department. And like I said, keeping cars running and for the officers. So, but if you had specific questions about the budget, happy to answer those. And again, it doesn't have to be tonight. If some come down the road, please just let me know. But excited about the budget. I'm excited about the budget for the entire city because where we're at with the budget. It's been tough having a balanced budget, and there's been some challenges for the city, but they were able to pull it off. There's a lot of economic growth that's going on right now within the city. The sales tax that was passed in November, we'll see some first monies from that around August. The projection is a little bit more than was projected in the beginning, so that is good. To help offset some of that cultivation tax that has been reduced to help those business owners that are within the city, and then to help with some of the economic development that's going on. There's a lot of projects, there's a lot of infrastructure projects going on. Palm Drive, around 20th and Palm Drive is a big one that's going to be starting this fall with street lights and curbing and sidewalks and stuff like that, so that'll be a good addition there. And then the fire chief isn't here, but I think it's around August, September. Station 98 is going to be opening up and operational. So it's going to be fantastic to have that station out on the east end of the city and available and stuff. So a lot going on in the city of Desert Hot Springs. This really is an exciting time for those of us that work here, for those of us that live here, and for those that come and visit the city to see the stuff that's going on here. So happy to answer any questions if you have any tonight.
All right. Ronaldo, you have any?
No, I'm good.
I just want to say that I think that it's just amazing when I look at what it was and what it is, and it's just, it's amazing. I know that you purchase the cars from, say, like Ford, whatever you do, but who outfits them, and what's the cost of that?
Yeah, so they're expensive. Buying a personal car is expensive nowadays. Everybody
Right,
knows that. Double that with a patrol vehicle. So yeah, so the purchase of the cars, what is it? We have a source that we go through Sourcewell. So we usually piggyback on like LAPD or a large agency that's buying cars, and then we're able to piggyback on them to get a couple in their orders. The ones that we just got, we didn't get in on any of those orders. So these cars, they came from different areas within the state. So we get them here, but then, yeah, we have to outfit them. So the specific cars, our patrol cars are the Ford Explorers, is what we're using. They're not your typical Ford Explorer that you can go on the lot and buy, that a civilian can go on the lot and buy. There is a police package on there, so there's different stuff with the engine and with the suspension, the transmission, and that type of thing. But then we have to outfit them, like you said. We have to put the lights in, the radios in, the car camera, the cage in the back and stuff. We have one company that we've been using for a long time. It's out in Ontario. We're looking at a second company also, so that we have a couple choices, so that if one is too busy, For instance, the one in Ontario right now, they're about 6 months out and being able to take a new car to outfit it. So we're looking at another company that's saying, hey, yeah, we can bring you in and get you in. So it's good to have, a couple of options available. But it costs to outfit the car. It runs $30,000 to $40,000. So by the time you're done, it's about $100,000 for a
Wow.
patrol vehicle
Wow,
to get it, buy it, and then outfit it.
it's amazing, that's a lot.
So they're
yeah.
expensive, but that's their
Well,
office.
it has to
And
be.
And there's a lot of technology and stuff
Right.
inside those cars and stuff. But it is expensive to have that. But everything between the computers and especially the car cameras and everything like that, that's important stuff to have. So
I don't know if either of you have ever toured a police car, the insides and everything that they have. That's just really something to, not by choice.
it's when you sit in there, it's like jumping in. I mean, I've never jumped in like a fighter jet or anything, but from when I see it on
Yeah.
TV and stuff, and I'm sure
I mean,
you have.
what all it does, I mean,
It does a lot. It's amazing.
does-
Yeah, it's amazing
yeah.
what it does. And so,
Well, I thank you for your report, and it's always good news lately, and I appreciate that. And I think Desert Hot Springs is still the best city in the whole valley. People just don't want to see or hear what they
yeah,
hear.
we're getting it out there.
I
we're,
think you're
we're
getting out
we're
there,
getting
you're
the
right.
message out there. I mean, not just us. The city is, and it's we're getting it out there, and people are starting to notice and see that. And yeah, but you're right. It is a fantastic city, and it's just amazing everything that's going on here right now and stuff. So it's fun to be part of that.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we don't have the fire department here. What are we doing here? Oh, we're going to do code compliance first. Or animal control. I'm with you.
Well, let's start with code compliance.
Okay.
So for the month of May 2025, code compliance received a total of 110 service requests. We completed a total of 280 inspections. We issued
Wow.
96 notices. We issued 96 notice of violations. We issued a total of 25 citations, totaling $14,400, and we opened a total of 82 new code compliance cases.
Wow.
Officer Linda Human was able to successfully close a long-standing code compliance case. The property has been a persistent issue with the community since 2019. It had multiple violations, including an illegal concrete pad foundation that was installed without any permits. There was a chain link fence surrounding the property. It also became a large dumping ground. We were constantly finding trash dumped there, debris, furniture. It was a weekly process that we were finding stuff out there. The property owner was not very respondent after a while. Eventually, Linda was able to secure an abatement warrant, a demolition warrant for this concrete foundation. We were able to successfully demolish the concrete foundation to its entirety and return it back to being a vacant parcel. I did attach photos at the bottom of my report for you guys, so
Right.
you can see the before, during, and after of the whole process for that. We also had our abandoned vehicle abatement officer, Pam Chafin. She submitted the abandoned vehicle abatement report for Q3 to the county. The report details Officer Chafin's, the number of notice of violations that she issued and the number of total of abated vehicles that she was able to remove. It's for the period of January 1st, 2025 to March 31st, 2025. Code Compliance Officer Michael Miller conducted a cleanup of a vacant lot off of San Ardo. This was another situation where there was a lot of dumping going on over there. With this one, we tend to see a lot of furniture and a lot of trash and a lot of trash bags that were going on that property. Like the community did realize this was a vacant lot they wanted to dump on. So we were able to reach out to the property owner, get a filed 602 on that property, which is a no trespass order, and then we were able to proceed with the cleanup efforts on that property. Code compliance officers Michael Miller and Randy Towner, they are part of our community response team. They had a total of 43 engagements with our unhoused population. They were able to successfully transport 9 of those individuals to a sobering center or mental health treatment service center. Code compliance began our end of the year cost recovery efforts for the fiscal years of 2024 to 2025. During this period, the administrative staff were going to generate an outstanding collections report which lists property owners who received a citation from May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025. Property owners with outstanding citations will receive 2 certified letters to inform them of the citation that are still owed, and they must be paid before the conclusion of the cost recovery process. The certified letters were mailed out last week. And that's going to conclude my report for code compliance, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
On that first property, you guys demolished the cement? You know,
Yeah.
Did they get charged for that?
Yeah, so
As a fine?
yeah, so that
Okay.
property originally, when we had it, there was actually framing for a house built on that property. We were able to get the owner to demolish that portion himself, but then he became unresponsive. So after that, we need to do our due diligence. We need to take the proper channels in order to secure an abatement warrant. So
Right.
it does take time. It's nothing that can act fast, especially when there was a little bit of progress beforehand. We want to see if we can make them continue to have progress. We don't have to dip into our budget to
Right.
abate something like this, because a concrete foundation, it doesn't look like much, but
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
it's a very expensive
job.
process to
Good job.
demolish a concrete foundation.
Yep.
So to answer your question, though, we do bill this back to the property owner, and if it goes unpaid, then it does get placed on the property taxes for that,
Oh, wow.
for that property, as part of the cost recovery,
Sure.
cost recovery that we're in right now. So this one will actually fall on next year's cost recovery, if it's
Nice.
not paid.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sanchez. We have nothing. What I was going to say, what if they just don't pay? I thought, I could be wrong, that at some point it goes on their house taxes?
Yeah, so it'll go
Oh.
against the property taxes. It'll be assessed with that, and it'll also have fines and penalties for not paying it assessed as well, where they're going to pay for all of the officers' time when they were out there conducting their inspections, for every time they had to pull a title report, for all of our admin assistants' time, any work that she had to do, any of my time that I had to put into there, we'll bill that all back to them
No.
and place it against their property taxes.
Oh,
And if they fail to pay the property taxes, their property could go for a tax lien sale.
wow. Thank you. Oh, and then we have Tyler Messler again.
We'll move on to the animal care
Yeah.
control report.
Animal control report.
So for the month of 2025 in animal control, we received a total of 132 service requests. We had 71 intakes. We had 22 animals returned to their owner. We were able to adopt 6 of those animals. We sent 16 animals to rescue. 0 of them went to CVAC. We took 16 animals to the vet. We had 28 dead on arrivals. We had 0 animals pass away in our care. There was 2 animals that did need to be euthanized. We did a total of 19 licensings issued to animal owners for their animals, and we issued 0 administrative citations. We had the Animal Action League held out in front of our Hacienda location. We were able to spay and neuter for the community at low cost. We also we've noticed an uptick in being able to return these animals to their owners because of the microchipping efforts that we're doing over there.
Oh, good.
Right now, we are offering $5 microchipping. I don't see that changing anytime soon. We've had a good reaction to that from the community, so we're going to keep doing that moving forward. Hopefully, we can get them to register their microchips after we administer them. That's the struggle we are finding right now. A lot of the times these animals come in, they have a microchip, but there's no information on the microchip. So it's simply just they have a microchip with a microchip number. So it doesn't do us much good, but we have noticed an uptick in people actually registering those, where we are able to return these animals back to the proper owner. We
That's
also
good.
had a citizen bring in an 8-month-old Doberman puppy. We named that puppy Spot. When the citizen was bringing him in, he found the dog. The dog had injuries to his rear legs. We looked at the leg, and it was severely injured. So we were able to take Spot over to urgent care to see if we could get some help for him. Well, while he was at urgent care, we were told the puppy's injuries were excessive, and the cost would be extremely expensive to cover. So we were able to work with the vets over at urgent care, and they were able to find a rescue group who wanted to take this puppy under their wing and pay for the whole procedure, and then take on the dog to give him the life that he deserves. But he's now a 3-legged puppy who's living out his full life at a rescue, and hopefully he'll be adopted to somebody who can take on a 3-legged dog. Also, we had a call out to King's Liquor for an injured dog. The dog sustained injuries to his back left leg. During, when we took that dog over to urgent care, while that dog was at urgent care, we were able to, the owner came forward, we let him know, hey, your dog's injured, we have him at urgent care right now, here's what urgent care is saying your options are. Well, the owner wasn't able to pay any of those, the medical procedures, so he was opting to euthanize. We were able, once again, to partner with a rescue group with vets over there, and we were able to have him relinquish his rights to the dog and sign it over to the rescue group, so that dog was able to be amputated and have another three-legged dog out there.
Wow,
But he'll be able to live the rest of, or she'll be able to
That's
live
right.
the rest of her life.
that's right.
And that's going to conclude my report for animal control, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Sanchez?
Yeah, I just gotta go. I contacted a couple pet shelters and all that locally. I had a buddy of mine that needed to give up a dog, couldn't take care of the dog, but everybody was like overpopulated, right? Like 200% overpopulated, they said. You said you found a lot of microchip dogs. Are owners just letting them go, and then you're calling them, they're like, hey, we have your dog, because they can't keep them, or are they taking them back?
Oh,
No, so it is against the law just to let your dog
Okay,
go
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's a felony. Oh, I'm not sure if it's felony or
Yeah.
misdemeanor, but I do know it's against the law
Yeah.
to just release them like that. Most of the time, if we find the dog and the dog does have the microchip registered, that owner is looking for them.
Okay.
It's not very common that we call the number and somebody answers and they tell us, oh, I just don't want the dog.
Okay.
That doesn't happen too
Yeah.
often. We have seen that in the past. I've only been there a short amount of time, and I've only seen it happen once. With those dogs, typically, we're going to ask the owner if they can. We need a history of the dog. We need to know more about this dog. We're going to ask them to get the dog. If we need to, we're going to partner with the police and move forward that
Right.
way. We haven't had to do that yet, but that would be how we
Yeah.
would take something like
I
that.
was just wondering because the overpopulation part of it, and then you guys finding dogs that are just out there and about, if it was maybe they're just releasing them out, and then you're calling them to come get your dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, if they're registered, typically the
Yeah.
owner cares about them.
Nice.
here we go.
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. With the $5 microchipping, what's the procedure for that? Do they just bring the animal in, or do they need an appointment, or?
Most of the time, they can just bring it in. Yeah, you can just bring it in. If you want to call and set up something this way, you know someone will be there. Majority of the time, we will have somebody in the office. We'll have an admin in there Monday through Friday who can call an officer if we don't have one available to get them into the office to microchip for you. You'll probably have better luck for a walk-in just Monday through Friday. If you want to come on the weekend, we can do it. I can't promise you it's going to be right then and there. It might take some time.
That was it, thank you.
I noticed on Palm, the old animal hospital, that they were tidying it up and painting it. Is there something going to happen there again?
Yes, so the Humane Society is hopefully going to, well, they are going to be reopening that.
Oh, good. Soon, or?
July 9th.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, all the updates and information are available on their website.
There you go. Well, thank you. I think you're doing a great job in both code compliance and animal control. Where are we now? Okay, next on our list, we don't have fire department. Do you have a report to give? Chief Shaw, perhaps?
Nothing for fire, sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, there we go. We're down to our reports for the month.
Okay, I just got a couple
Commissioner
topics just to bring up. I don't know, Chief, if you have an answer for this. The heat's coming. Is there like anything we're doing for homeless and seniors, like in the city, to where they have aid or
Yeah,
assistance?
so cooling systems, centers, so libraries.
Libraries.
The senior center, and then the hub for our homeless. We'll have cooling centers available
Okay.
for folks, so absolutely.
Perfect.
And, sir?
I got one more thing.
Oh,
So just jumping on the topic of what's happening in the world right now, and with especially with ICE and coming into the city and all that, are we seeing anything like movement of people trying to protest, or is there any violence things going on?
Yeah, nothing in the city, so, yeah, let me touch on a couple of things with that, because depending, it doesn't matter what your individual opinion is or anything like that, but I'll tell you how the police department operates here in Desert Hot Springs. Every city might be a little bit different. But in the city of Desert Hot Springs, when it comes to law enforcement with the police officers, we do not ask immigration status. We do not enforce immigration law. That's federal law, and we do not enforce that. So, officer comes in contact with anybody, whether they're a victim or a suspect in a crime, whether it's a traffic stop, whether it's a consensual contact that they're talking to somebody. They do not ask anything about immigration status. If we arrest somebody, we do not ask what their immigration status is when we take them to jail and pass that information on to folks. So we are not actively doing that. I am not aware of any details so far from ICE or Homeland Security or Border Patrol that have come into the city of Desert Hot Springs. I think we've seen on the news, Cathedral City had some. So it is taking place, obviously, out here in the Coachella Valley, but we haven't had anything within the city itself. There are some protests this weekend, and what I would say to protest is it is everybody's right to protest. And I have no problem with folks protesting. I do have a problem if folks loot. I do have a problem if folks attack law enforcement officers.
Correct.
As the chief, the direction to my officers is we will make a safe environment if folks want to protest. But if you break the law, if you violate the rules and you start destroying property and you start assaulting people, then we're going to take action, you're going to be arrested, and you're going to go to jail. Otherwise, we will make a safe environment so folks can have that environment to protest and speak their mind, because we fully support that. No protest planned in the city of Desert Hot Springs. Excuse me, there's a couple of different things on Saturday. It's like a national day of protests that folks are doing. There are some events planned. I know there's one in Palm Springs Saturday evening. There's one in Rancho Mirage Saturday morning. No indication or any information right now that anything is going to flow over into Desert Hot Springs. There is an event planned, I know, out here Sunday evening, but everything right now, it looks like it'll be a peaceful demonstration. We will have officers out there to make sure that if folks are there, again, that they have a safe environment and that the community is safe though also.
Good.
Good.
And last, I just want to thank you. We had a couple calls out by the gym, and you guys responded really quick, and I appreciate that.
Good, very
Appreciate
good.
that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm just going to piggyback off of what Ray had said. Last month I had addressed the homeless people that were actually getting into the drive-throughs and interacting with people as they're trying to get food with no place to go. Later on, like maybe last week, Carl's Jr., I saw your officers contacting someone who was doing the exact same thing. So it's just nice to see that your officers are actually putting actions to your word. And with the Memorial Day celebration and just everything within the city, I grew up here since 1978, and I agree with Donna there. Everything has just progressed so much more positive over the years, and I know that's because of good leadership. And not just from the police department, but also with city council. So I just want to commend to everybody for the things that I've seen personally and the positive improvements. So hats off to all of you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we've done, the homeless thing, the city has really put a lot into that. And I think if you look around the state and around the nation, for similar cities the size of us, you're going to be hard pressed to find a city that's actually put their money where their mouth is and stuff. Our community response team, where we now have, I have 2 full-time police officers assigned to that team. Code compliance has 2 full-time code compliance officers, and then obviously we partner with SWAG, 4 full-time folks from SWAG doing the outreach. And that's every single day that those folks are out there and they're doing it and stuff. So I appreciate that you recognize that you're seeing a difference out there. We want folks to let us know, hey, if we're missing something, let us know. But we are working day in and day out to get folks resources and help folks get resources. That's the #1 priority. But if they're going to refuse that, then that's when we're going to come in, and there's going to be some enforcement action on folks if they're not going to take those resources and they're breaking the law. So, thank you.
There you go. I just have to say that The new fire department is beautiful. I mean, and I even noticed that they widened the street when you turn to accommodate, I'm sure, a fire engine moving fast. But it's a really noticeable good thing, and I appreciate that very much. I also want to give a shout out to Doria Wilms, our new permanent city manager. I know she's already doing a great job, so I appreciate that. And I had one more thing, but I'm old, I forgot already. But I'm proud to be here. That's all I could say. I think everything is moving really nicely along. And I just wish we would get Walmart or somebody. So I also want to mention that every year, because of our summers are so blistering, and people leave town, and you all may have things to do, that we usually go dark for 2 months. And I'm going to make the suggestion for July and August. And Gerald will present that, or?
Yes, it's actually in the municipal code that the Public Safety Commission shall go dark in July and August.
Oh, okay, good. So that's it. So we will not be here until September. Of course, why don't I be ready for that? September 11. Yeah. I didn't do that. I'm just a messenger. So I also notice in our audience, I can't really see very well. Is that a previous chairman? Is that him? Please stand up. Mr. Myers, so nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. Yeah. So I just think that would be it. And if we will not be seeing each other till September, to please be careful. God bless, and enjoy the summer inside. The best I can do. Thank you. And at, what time is that? 6:50? 6:50, adjourned. Okay.